Alright, this is a harder video to make. I am 6 weeks and 2 days based off of the embryo transfer. And we had another ultrasound today, and the doctor said that it's measuring 5 weeks and 5 days, which isn't terrible, but they're still not seeing a fetal pole, and they haven't found the heartbeat yet. So there is another sac attached to it. They're not sure if it's another gestational sac. There's absolutely nothing seen in it. So there's a possibility that the embryo tried to split and then the other one just didn't make it. It could be a subchorionic hematoma, but she's leaning more towards the other. This is hard, it's hard in general to not see what you want to see when it's your own baby. And I think it adds a whole nother level of stress when you're doing this for somebody else whose whole life kind of was waiting for this. So we have to go back in a week, and then they'll hopefully see a heartbeat. I really hope. I don't feel well. My hormones are surging. My beta is now at a 12,000 XXX. I don't even know. It's 12,200 something. So it's on the lower end, but it's still rising because it was 50 something, 5,500. I don't remember these numbers. My brain my estrogen is at 1,200 something. My progesterone is kind of hanging at 16. So all those numbers are okay, but my body is working. It's just that this little baby, we're waiting for it to get a heartbeat to call it, I guess, viable. This is hard. This is a harder video to make. I feel like I can't say defeated because we weren't told that it didn't work, but I feel like my body's everything revolves around this. And it's a lot. And because they're friends of mine, it makes it even harder, I think, because I just want to give them what they want. And I'm sure no matter what, it's hard to be a surrogate. I'm not diminishing anybody who does it for people that they don't know, but knowing them and seeing them at all the appointments and talking to them throughout the week, it makes it that much harder when you're still waiting on an answer. And I don't feel well. I'm exhausted. My hormones are raging. I keep dry heaving. I have cold sweats. I've thrown up a bunch of times. I have food aversions. I'm not hungry. So if I didn't have all these checks, I would say I'm definitely pregnant. It's just hard. I don't want to even post this until we get another check because, I know she watches my channel. So how do you post something? I don't want to upset her anymore. So this is where we're at. And I want to be optimistic. I'm just feeling really sad. Okay, so it's been a rough weekend. I'm finally smiling. A little bit of good news today. So Friday we went for the ultrasound, and like I said, and it wasn't a good day. So today is Tuesday, right? The 25th, and we went for our morning ultrasound, and they saw a heartbeat. So we're supposed to be 7 weeks tomorrow. We are measuring behind by an entire week. We're at 6 days, because tomorrow we're at 6 weeks the fetal pole size. The heartbeat was 107, and they said considering that we're a week behind, that's okay. I have had a gut, like punch in my gut feeling for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And today I feel better. I think immediately when she said she heard the heartbeat, I reached out and grabbed her hand. Like, oh, yeah, okay. At least there's a heartbeat.
You should come back in about a week or so. But again, we're going to confirm based on dates and size and everything with your physician taking a look at everything. But there is a heartbeat for sure here. Now, there's a second area up here at the top.
There's been for how many weeks, but we don't know if there's...
I'm not sure if it's a second sac or if it's just like a kidney-shaped one sac.
And she said we still have to be very cautiously optimistic because this is the way this goes. We got our beta back. It's 22,900 and change. So that doubled. My progesterone actually, I think, went up from 16 to 20. So that's promising. And they still see another sag. So there's still nothing in it. And it almost looks more fluid than it did in the first two ultrasounds, where it actually looks like the septation between them is barely there. So we don't know. We have no idea what the heck that is. We're thinking, could it be that this is something that didn't make it, that's slowing down the progress? I don't know. There's 1,000 things that could be going on. But I'm going to tell you, I can finally breathe. I'm excited to go through this, but this is rough. And I don't know, it's just, I never knew I was pregnant until I started puking my guts out. So to know this early and go every couple days, and things are slow, and it makes you panic. Listen, I get it. The whole process, and I know why they do it, because it's more of like you're high risk, and you have miscarriages, and it causes more anxiety. So I've been definitely down in the dumps for a couple of days. We both went in thinking that this was going to be a sad visit, and hearing a heartbeat is at least promising enough to get us through to the next week's visit. So we go back next Tuesday, so they're going to wait a whole week and see what kind of progress we make. I am thankful to be at this point. I am waiting for the real nausea. I don't know. In 4 pregnancies, I've had nausea with all of them. But like I said, I never knew when I was pregnant until I really got it. Because for me, I had a menstrual cycle that was very regular. So I would get it like every 3 months. So if I skipped a period, it was like, whatever. I never really thought about it. Now knowing from like transfer changes everything. So now I'm like, okay, why am I not as nauseous as I normally am? Why am I this? Why, how come that's not the same? And I'm like, because way earlier than you normally know. So relax. Like, I'm definitely having nausea and dry heaving, but like this is fine for me. Like, I could handle this. So maybe because it's not my DNA, it's not affecting me the same. I don't know. There's so many weird things. But all good news today as far as compared to last week. We've jumped that hurdle. And even though we're not growing quickly, we're growing, and there's a heartbeat, and we're just gonna stay positive and be cautiously optimistic. I have been dizzy. I actually sat up for my ultrasound and got very dizzy. It only lasts for about maybe 10 seconds, but the change in gravity affects me, I think, the most out of all the other symptoms that I have. And I had a lot of food aversions. Like, who brings home donuts and you don't really want one? Not me. I'm a foodie. Let me tell you something. I love food, okay? I love good food. But I just love food in general. So for my stomach to say, I don't want that. I don't want that. No, you're good. That's not me. I love to eat. And the one weird thing that I've been craving is vegetables. Like, who craves vegetables? Broccoli. What else did I want the other day? Squash. Like, what? So those are all good signs. I just think that the constant checking kind of becomes stressful. So we're past. We're gonna go in a week and we'll see what it is.